Thanks for joining us. The time is now 7 a.m. I'm Phoebe Murray, and you are watching 15 News Plus, streaming live on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, or our free WMTV 15 News app.
Connected to you on all devices and wherever you stream. This is WMTV 15 News Plus.
Well, today is August 24th, and we want to give you 5 Wisconsin headlines of the day in 50 seconds. The Adams County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding this man. Deputies say Justin Sonnenberg faces several charges, including strangulation. A former Madison priest accused of child sex crimes will be in Marathon County Court today. New charges were filed against Andrew Showers, including attempted grooming of a child for sexual activity. Jury selection will begin this morning for these two brothers accused in 3 Madison homicide cases from 2016 and 2017. Both pleaded not guilty, facing up to life in prison if convicted. Jury selection will also start for a man accused of killing a Sun Prairie woman. Gerson Blasno is charged in the death of Ingrid Ismar Valverde Ponce. He pleaded not guilty last year. The Wisconsin DHS says there's been a decline in synthetic opioid overdose deaths. DHS officials say it's the biggest drop the state has ever recorded. It's your first 5 in 50 seconds. For a deeper dive into any of these stories, you can download our free 15 News app or head to our website, WMTV15news.com. Time right now is 7:01. You want to take a peek outside for your morning drive to work. This is a very sunny look from the Beltline at Park Street, and the westbound lanes a little bit more congested than the other direction here this morning on the Beltline, as we usually see is typical. DOT not reporting any crashes to let you know about. And in the weather department, that sun might be a little bit deceiving, Delaney. It's a pretty cool start to our work week.
Yeah, it's a bit of a chilly start out there, so you'll want, of course, maybe some sunglasses as you head out for that morning commute. It's a bright start out there, but also a light jacket might not be a bad idea either. We're sitting at 52 degrees here in Madison. The dew point there at 50. Calm conditions in the way of wind speeds. So with that dry air in place, it is a cool, crisp fall-like start to the morning. We have 50s, even some 40s in place throughout southern Wisconsin there. And as we head through the day, high pressure is going to keep the sunshine around, keeping us dry. Some scattered clouds may move in once again like we saw yesterday afternoon during the afternoon hours today. But we will stay dry. High pressure will eventually be shifting off to the east. As it does, we'll get a shift in our wind directions. Winds will become southwesterly, bringing a bit of a warmer, more humid air mass into the region as this warm front lifts through for your Tuesday. Not going to be looking at oppressive humidity levels, but you will feel a little bit of a difference compared to what we've seen over the last few days. Most of the day, or all of the day, really looking to be quiet, but we do have our eye on a cold front that is going to move through, bringing the chance for some showers and thunderstorms. I think it'll be pretty hit or miss across southern Wisconsin. Better chances do look to be across the northern part of the state. Again, this is Tuesday night into Wednesday, so with the timing here, not going to bring many, if any, impacts to any plans that you may have. This will continue to exit the area. That cold front will exit by the afternoon hours Wednesday, and behind it we will be looking at those lower humidity levels once again. Dry conditions to wrap up the work week as we head Thursday into Friday. Rainfall potential, here it is through the next few days. This takes us through the entire day Wednesday, and you can see little to even no rain across some parts of the area. So again, still some questions on exactly how much of this activity gets going across southern Wisconsin, maybe up to a 1/10 of an inch with that rain Tuesday night, but better chances will be for the northwestern part of the state where there is a low-end severe threat. That's a level 1 out of 5 risk. So a pretty nice week ahead. High temperatures near 80 degrees with some more rain chances moving in for the upcoming weekend.
Delaney, thank you. A fresh haircut can do wonders for a child's confidence before the first day of school, and a group of kids in Madison will be looking and feeling their best to start the school year thanks to a special Madison tradition. Yesterday, families packed the Alliant Energy Center for the 18th annual Back to School Free Haircuts event. More than 38 barbers volunteered their time, creating a welcoming space for Madison kids. Alongside the styling chairs, families had access to school resources and health services as well. Organizers say the true reward is seeing the kids' confidence after they step out of that barber chair.
I think it's the kiddos, seeing the smiles. Sometimes they're afraid about going into a chair, but when they come out, you see them feeling so good smiles on their faces. Maybe they got a book from the bookmobile. Maybe they went and talked to one of the school districts and they got some information that maybe they were lacking. It's all happening right here.
How sweet is this? Hundreds of kids attend this event every year. Again, the haircut's completely free of charge. Organizers say they hope that these health services and fresh cuts really help students start the new year healthy and with a smile. Back to school season also means more cars and buses will be on the roads. Officers are reminding you to be aware of your surroundings and make sure you yield to buses when they pull over.
But just be mindful, this is the season, especially the first week of school. I'll probably get a dozen stop arm reports because people either weren't thinking about it, weren't paying attention, didn't realize that meant they had to stop as well. So please take this time to be mindful. School is coming, so are the buses.
He also encourages you to leave early if you need to be somewhere and watch out for people walking in crosswalks. And from pencils to backpacks, back to school shopping, it can really add up. Finance analysts say to start with a budget, make a list of what your child actually needs and compare prices before you buy. They also recommend looking for local school supply drives or other community resources. Health is also another thing to check on before going back to school, of course. According to the American Optometric Association, about 1 in 4 school-aged children has an undiagnosed or untreated vision problem. One optometrist says headaches, eye strain, and reading troubles can indicate vision problems in your child.
If their homework should really take 20 minutes according to the teacher and it's taking 2 hours, then I'd be suspicious that there's something going on.
A vision exam doesn't just lead to clarity. Rudd says that eye screenings can have, of course, learning benefits like increasing their attention span. Next up here on 15 News Plus, Wisconsin 360, some of the top stories out of the capital city, including a new vote impacting a former site in Janesville. This fall, you can decide whether projects at the site should go on the ballot. We'll hear from supporters and opponents next. Good Monday morning from Madison. I'm Phoebe Murray with the check of the top stories that we are following. The former Madison priest accused of child sex crimes will be in court later today. Last week, new charges were filed against Andrew Showers in Marathon County. According to the Diocese of Madison, Showers is now accused of attempted grooming of a child for sexual activity in March of this year. Online court records show an arrest warrant was issued for Showers Thursday, and he turned himself in on Friday. The diocese says the warrant was issued for his arrest because of an undercover investigation by a police officer posing as a 15-year-old girl. The former GM site in Janesville has been a topic of discussion for years, but this fall, people will have the opportunity to vote on its future. The referendum will ask people living in Janesville whether future projects at the site costing more than $450 million should require a vote. Those in favor believe residents should have a direct say about property in their neighborhood.
Typically, most projects aren't above $450 million in project costs. That's a substantial project that has the potential to affect everything from local quality of life to infrastructure to municipal service provisions to land values and surrounding uses. And so we understand the significance of a project of that size. And so should the community before they're asked to accept it.
Now, George Cullen, co-president of general contractor J.P. Cullen, says a process like that is uncommon and could slow redevelopment opportunities like housing and business projects.
We build projects throughout Wisconsin, in the Midwest. I've never seen something like this. To have a project have to be voted on, it would put that site at a competitive disadvantage when people are thinking about where to make their investment.
Referendum does not pass. Proposed projects would still go through City Council as normal. Well, we're about 2 weeks away from Wisconsin football opening up its 2026 season at Lambeau Field, and the Badgers are continuing to make progress in fall camp. Head coach Luke Fickell noting that a concern of his heading into camp was how guys outside of Mason Posa, Cooper Catalano, and Colton Joseph would step up. But yesterday, Fickell says it was a step in the right direction for the Badgers as competition continues to reveal what this group can bring in September.
I'm happy. I'm really happy that the guys came out today with a competitive spirit, that they worked, battled with each other. We had some really good things and some things we got to get a lot better. The guys that couldn't go today did a really, really good job at affecting their teammates and their buddies. And, to me, that's a big part of, where this thing's got to go.
Now, the journey to Game 1 continues on for now. Wisconsin officially kicks off its season Sunday, September 6th, up at Lambeau Field. Kickoff between the Badgers and Fighting Irish is set for 6:30. And hey, each weekday, be sure to tune into Wisconsin 360, streaming live at 9 a.m. We take a look at stories making headlines from markets all across the state, including developing stories here in Madison. Those are the top headlines from the capital city. For 15 News, I'm Phoebe Murray. Have a great day.
Add WMTV 15 News to your Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Google TV today and never miss a moment of 15 News Plus.